Mr. Anamalu, the President of Indus Foundation, Professor V.S. Rao, Vice Chancellor of NIIT University Nimrana, Professor Goyal, Vice Chancellor of Delhi Pharmaceutical Sciences, Mr. Professor Asutosh Sharma, Secretary to Government of India, Science and Technology, and a very, very eminent galaxy of speakers that I see in front of me. Ladies and gentlemen, participants, the media, friends. It's a great privilege and a pleasure to be able to welcome you all here for this evening. I have been associated with Indus Foundation for over a decade now. It has made tremendous progress during the previous years. It has sort of been a forum for having collaboration, for having exchange of faculties, for having joint research, and putting the academia together. It's also been a very strong forum for recruitment to campuses. From that basic core strength, it's very, very interesting to see Mr. Anamalu with his dynamo of energy sort of charging towards something which is very, very close to the Honorable Prime Minister's heart, and that is a skill development. I think he had done tremendous contribution towards this as Chief Minister of Gujarat. Probably he was the first Prime Minister who insisted on a separate ministry, separate department to be able to galvanize this particularly important sector. We have a very dynamic minister, Mr. Yudi, who is in charge there. Mr. Krishnan is the secretary. We hope to have them when we have the main functions. The Joint Secretary of the Skill Development Department, Mr. Agarwal, was held up in a meeting with the minister. He has just now messaged to me that he is on his way to be able to share with us his thoughts and the Government of India's perception of how we should move forward. In this nascent activity, I would urge all participants to put their best foot forward, give us the support, give us the encouragement, give us the inspiration, give us the assistance. I am also very grateful for any sponsors, advertisers, and whosoever has come forward to help in this noble activity. I would share, I think, as we grow down the line, a very dear friend of mine, Pradeep Kukreja and Renu, who are there, I think I got married somewhere in 1967. I come from a very small village in Rajasthan, which is District Pali, from western area of Rajasthan. In the mid-60s, we had very few houses that were pakka. There was only one or two tractors, or probably none. Occasionally a jeep just strolled by the village. And Kukreja sort of was there with me. He has a lovely house in Golf Links. From there, I took a quantum leap and took him to this village to spend a few days with me. Today, the same village is bursting with activity. In my same sleepy village today, there are over about 20 jeeps and cars and tempos who are giving public transport. There's a bank, there's a hospital, there's an Ayurveda hospital, there's a post office, there's a higher secondary school. Restaurants have opened. There is no kacha house now. And particularly in terms of tractors, in terms of TVs, in terms of pump sets, in terms of every house that has now been electrified. Somebody has a cooler, somebody has any other contraption. But it is amazing that in spite of so much of material growth that has taken place, any time that thing goes wrong, either with a tube well or a tractor or a pump set or a cooler or a TV or a vehicle, you have to go all the way to Tehsil headquarters, which is just about 18, 19 miles away, to get a technical man there. I think this, as the chart explained, I mean, for a country of this size, the skill component to be on 4% is really staring at us as an insult to how we have been able to manage our fortunes. I think the crying need today is vocational, as Professor V.S. Rao mentioned. I think German example of 5 days in school and 2 days of empirical experience is probably the best answer to that. But I stand, I was Secretary Government of India. I retired in 2005. जो कहते हैं tired and retired, तो अब तो हमारा तो सूरज अस्त होने वाला है. But I see young dynamic people here. I think Madan we are very keen to listen to whatever he has to say. I think how the country responds to this crying, felt need and requirement is something that's a challenge before us. And I hope that these deliberations this evening and the main function that we have in the 4 or 5 metros in the country, we throw up these issues. We sort of put our heads together and come with some kind of a roadmap for redressal. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your participation. Your presence is a source of encouragement and strength to us. Thank you.